Hi everyone, this is Bob Bickle, and this is oil painting and stuff. This is the final series of All Lives Matter, and the brushes I'll be using are silver brush, and this one happens to be a Silverwhite. It's a number 1 script brush. Later on I'll be using a MastersTouch 1/4 inch dagger brush. It's the one with the orange handle. Paints I'm using are Griffin alkyd oil paints. They dry very fast. By very fast I mean at least overnight. The paints colors I'm using are titanium white, lamp black, Naples yellow, yellow ochre, burnt sienna, burnt umber, ceruleum blue, ultramarine blue, and purple. And later in the painting I'll be using different shades of green, Veridian green, olive, sap, and a combination of cad yellow and blues. Now let me explain a little bit about this Griffin alkyd oil paint. One of its features is it dries very fast, and when you are mixing on your palette and say you have a very thin layer on your palette, that thin layer will dry very quickly. And the beauty about that is that you can add a somewhat thinner paint substance to those areas, because when paint dries, it develops a tooth and it picks up paints easier. So that's why I do a lot of skipping around, waiting for paints to somewhat dry so I can put thinner paints on. When I add thinner paints to a wet surface, what I end up doing is just pushing paint around. And when that starts to happen and I need to put in detailed lines, I've got to wait for that area to dry somewhat, to become tacky, to pick up the paint on my brush, so I'm not just pushing paint around. You'll notice that I occasionally clean my brush on the Viva paper towel, but I also will test my paint load on my brush on the towel, because if I have a blob of paint on the end, it's going to leave a blob of paint on the canvas, and I don't want that. So I'll stroke it across that towel in order to relieve that blob of paint on there so it won't just drop on the surface. Now with this script brush, you can develop a chisel edge with it, and that will give you a very thin line. This particular brush is very good at developing a chisel edge on the front of the brush. This particular script brush has been very good. It's held up amazingly well. But when I want to put down larger areas of color where detail is not that important, and I'm just concerned about putting down lots of color, then I'll use that 1/4 inch dagger brush. I'll shut up for a little bit and let you watch what I'm doing here. Well, folks, it's getting close to the end of this session. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, would you please give me a like and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see some other art projects. And until we meet again, I hope you do very well. And until then, bye now.